Hi everyone, thanks for joining me. You're on Helen Roscoe Yoga on YouTube Live. Thank you so much. Okay, so we are going to be tapping into session 2 of my Yoga for Stability series. You can go back to previous practices, and the last one that I did was on the core. So that was session 1. So this evening's practice, or today's practice, is session 2, and we're going to be looking at back care. So this session will be centering around back care and will form an exploratory and experiential practice to include 3 core sequences which will offer ways we can begin to develop a heightened awareness of structural support and mobility for the lower back and pelvis junction. We're going to focus on releasing tense muscles that bind to these areas, whilst also strengthening and finding greater balance to support. In doing so, we'll begin to integrate new patterns of movement within our whole body, combined with slow and mindful breathing. In particular, I'm interested in offering ways in which you can explore the front of your body to support the back, and the back of your body to support the front, finding balance as we do so. I'd like you to be open to the relationship of the breath supporting or even enveloping each movement and guiding you into the present moment as you move with care. Notice when things feel too much or even not enough. Observe where the mind takes you as you practice, and sense for yourself what it may be that you need more or less of in order to orient yourself in positive directions. Ensure that you have plenty of space to move and on the ground as well. So we're going to do some kneeling work, some lying work, some standing work. So all kind of planes of movement. Just make sure you've got plenty of room for your arms to move through space, for you to stand so that you don't come into contact with anything around you. And just take a few moments to get any props that you might need, such as a bolster, any blocks or blankets, pillows, that sort of thing. Just take your time. We'll start the practice in about a minute or so for you to have those props with you. Okay, enjoy the practice everybody, and I'll talk you through, but I'll also be touching base on the other side. Okay. So when you have your seat, we're just going to spend a few moments centering and tuning in. So I'd like you to take either your bolster or some blocks, folded blankets, cushions, whatever you have, just to kind of raise your hips. Now I'm going to start kneeling, but you're welcome to come into a cross-leg position or any kind of seated position. You can do this on a chair as well. So I'm going to go side on for you so that you can see the angle that we're working with here. So take a few moments to find a comfortable seat of your choice. Just let your hands rest lightly onto your laps. Lightly draw your chin in towards the throat so the back of the neck lengthens a little. Just let your eyes close and just take a few moments to notice how you feel. Notice what you feel physically. Where is your mind moving towards? What do you notice first? Usually we will be directed towards tensions, perhaps around the shoulders, around the knees or the hips. Soften your jaw. And just notice that you are connecting down through your sit bones towards your seat. Be aware of the feet or outer edges or the front of your shins, whatever is making contact with the ground, and just pay attention to how you settle towards that place. And then from the ground, have a sense of vibrancy or elevation along your spine. And I'd like you to explore your movement of the spine between 2 places, whereby you roll back onto your sit bones. So notice perhaps your abdomen or your stomach will tense a little bit. And then you roll forwards and come onto the creases of the thighs. So you lift off your seat a little further. So do this a few times where you roll back. Notice how you come more onto the top of your sit bones towards your bottom, the fleshy parts of your bottom. And then inhale and you come forwards, your body weight shifts forwards off the sit bones onto the creases of your thighs. So I'd like you to go between those two ranges of motion and just gradually bringing that pendulum less so that your movement becomes less between those two places. And then at a certain point, I'd like you to come to the place that feels centered between those two ranges of movement, whereby you feel that you have an equal balance of effort in the front of your body and the back of your body. So it's not pressing back and you're not pressing forwards. You're in between the two. And just direct your awareness towards the base of your pelvis. Settle there. And then bring your awareness to your nostrils and just simply observe that you are breathing in. Simply observe that you are breathing out. So just with a natural breath, breathe in, take the breath down through to the seat of your pelvis. Breathe out, let the breath extend past your pelvis out through the nostrils into the space around you. So just follow your breath for a few rounds. You're welcome to sigh the breath as well. Just start tuning in, start becoming more alert in your posture. Become aware of sensations around the junction of your pelvis. So this area in particular is key to our practice today. And we're going to be focusing on the places either side of the pelvis, lower back, either sides of the waist, the outer edges of the thighs, the inner edges of the thighs, the areas that bring about structural support, so that in the rest of our body we can orientate ourselves in a positive way. Or so that rather that structural support can integrate itself throughout the rest of the body and with a sense of freedom. Know what it is that you need. Maybe just ask yourself, what do I hope to achieve from today's session in relation to my pelvis, my lower back, or anywhere else in your body? It doesn't just have to be focused on that area. And this kind of tuning in allows for you to register where you are at the start of your practice, so that as you begin to move through, you become aware of these changes. You become aware of what you learn about yourself along the way. And then slowly, coming off your seat, I'd like you to come to rest onto your back and placing your feet on the floor so that they are relatively close to your bottom, and resting your hands by your sides. So just let your back find the ground, let your lower back settle, your pelvis is supported, your feet are on the earth. Just slightly snuggling your chin in towards the throat so the back of your neck is long. Give yourself some space across your shoulders. And then for those of you familiar, snuggling your chin in towards the throat, I'd like you to establish a connection towards Ujjayi breathing. So Ujjayi breathing is as though you are sounding the breath from your throat, but your lips are closed. So it's a sighing sound. And the air through which the channel through which the breath is passing is slightly narrowed by this drawing in of the chin. So therefore there's a vibrational quality of the breath, and it's often referred to as an ocean sound or wave-like breath. And if you're new to this approach, then finding a breath or a breathing rhythm that is conscious, you're aware that you are breathing, And those inhalations deepen and your exhalations lengthen. With the in-breath, become aware of the front of your body expanding. With the out-breath, lightly draw your belly in towards the spine. Notice how the back of your body finds the earth. Inhale, the front of your body is expansive. Exhale, lightly draw the belly in. The back of your body finds the ground, finds support. As you draw the belly in on those exhalations, notice how your lower back presses into the ground a little bit further. So that drawing in around the waist will bring about a greater sense of stability and structural support for your pelvis and lower back junction. Moving with the breath in your time. On an inhalation, extend your fingertips up in the direction of the ceiling and onto the wall, onto the floor, either behind you or out at shoulder level. And on the exhale, send your fingertips up in the direction of the sky, lightly draw your belly in towards the spine, press into your feet a little and lower your arms by your sides. When the in-breath arrives, take your arms up and over once more. Notice the length that you're creating along your body, lengthening a little along your spine. On the out-breath, lightly draw your belly in. Notice the support that offers you around your lower back. And then again, inhale the arms. This time, on the out-breath, pressing into your right foot, draw the left knee in over your belly and bring your hands behind the back of the thigh. On an inhalation, press your left heel up towards the sky, stretching a little along your hamstrings, along the backs of your calves. Exhale, draw the belly in, lower the knee and soften. Try not to pull the knee, just let that leg release naturally down. And then on the in-breath, activate the leg as you push your heel up towards the sky. Imagine you're pushing through thick air, so there is some effort there. And then at the end, you come to a place where that leg is extended as is useful for you, and then exhale and lower down. With the next inhalation, lower the left foot, take the arms overhead. And then exhale as you draw the belly in, guide the right knee in over your torso, hands slightly touch behind the back of the thigh, or you could hold on to the edges of the thigh. And then inhale and extend your right heel up towards the sky. You can keep your knee as bent as you need to in this position, especially if you're feeling tightness along the backs of your legs. Exhale, lower down. Perhaps on the second round you might find that you can extend a little further. But ensure you keep that base of your spine, the top of your pelvis rooted, so you're connected towards the earth, anchoring in order to lengthen along the legs. Inhale, place the right foot down, the arms go back. And on the out-breath, lower the arms by your sides, lightly draw your belly in towards the spine. Just pause for a moment and notice how you feel, make any adjustments you need to, and then snuggle your feet a little closer towards your bottom, no wider than hip distance apart, and have your palms pressing down onto the ground. The chin really draws in here. On an inhalation, begin to lift your pelvis off the ground and extend the front of your body in the direction of the sky. You don't need to lift very high. Just explore expanding through the front of your body, and then exhale, lower down with support. Lightly draw your belly button back towards the spine. So breathing in, lifting, just coming as far as is comfortable. You might want to do this in stages, just coming up a little bit further each time, and just gently exploring extension of the spine, supported by the feet, supported by the shoulders, the arm and the head. But just notice the space that you gather between your knees and your collarbone as you lift your spine off the ground. The front of your body extends, the front of your hip creases stretch a little further. And then on the out breath, try not to rush, lower down, and just taking that once more in your time. You might decide during the practice that there are certain things that we do here that you decide over time you'd like to focus a little further on or adapt for yourself. But just really tuning in and taking on board what is useful for you. And doing that mindfully with the breath. Guide the knees in over your belly, just gently hugging them in. Pause there for a few moments. And then rock a little from one side to the other. And then in your time, roll onto your side. And take a gradual rise onto your hands and your knees. And when you come onto your hands and your knees, just check in that your wrists and your shoulders are in line with one another, and then your hips and your knees are in line with one another. And I'd like you to find the ground here through your hands, through your knees, the tops of your feet. And then just gently think about drawing the belly in for support around the waist, in particular bringing that support in for your lower back. So you're not dropping and arching or swinging the sit bones up. There's a light drawing in of the belly. Your chin is slightly drawn in, so again, you're not looking forwards, extending into the neck. Just coming into a place that is neutral, whereby you feel evenly balanced between the front and the back of your body. So not one is doing more than the other. And then, with your breath, on an exhalation, begin to take your hips to one side and look over the opposite shoulder. So just a gentle sway. Inhale to the opposite side and look over the opposite shoulder. So whichever side your hips sway to, look over the opposite shoulder. Just gently stretch into the outer edges of your hips. So what we're looking at doing in our practice today is stretching what needs to be stretched and contracting or strengthening what needs to be strengthened, so that the rest of our body can move with ease or be still with ease. And then what I'm going to invite you to do is take a breath in that neutral position, and on an exhalation, take your legs to one side and begin to extend your hips in the direction of your heels. So stretching a little along the outer edge, your arms on the one side and along the outer edge of your body. You come back to center, breathing in, and then on the out breath, take your feet in the opposite way and stretch your bottom towards the heel. So you're only coming into this position like a downward cat as far as those knees and your lower back will allow you to. So don't force anything into this folded position. Just work within a range that's useful, that feels pleasant, whereby you feel as though you're stretching the muscles that need to be stretched and not overworking anything else at this stage. So yoga is a balance of effort and ease. So all the time, where can I find that balance, or what needs more or what needs less? So really tune in to what you notice. So once more in the opposite way. And then come back through to center. Come back into that neutral position. Your belly is slightly activated towards the spine. Take a breath in here. This time explore extension a little bit further. So explore length between your pubic bone and your collarbones without swinging your belly down. And then on the exhale, lower your elbows and then stretch your hips or your pelvis in the direction of your heels. As you breathe in, look towards your thumbs, lift the elbows and then send yourself over your wrists. On the out breath, the elbows lower, your hips stretch back. On the in breath, you look towards your thumbs, so you lengthen a little bit further along your upper spine, and then you come through over your wrists. Exhale, lower down. Focus on your lower spine as you extend your hips back. And then inhale, as you come back onto your hands, stretch your right foot away from your bottom, so your right leg is active. Breathe out here, press down into the ground, activate your abdomen, and then inhale, lift the heel off the ground, maybe just a little way. Perhaps your heel will be coming in line with your bottom. On the exhale, lower your knee down, lower your elbows, stretch your bottom back, and then inhale, come back onto your hands and extend your left foot away. So your toes come into contact, you stretch a little further along the back of the leg, you pause there as you breathe out, you find steadiness, stability, and then inhale, lift the foot off the ground. You're welcome to keep it on the ground also. Exhale, place the knee, lower down. Slide your hands by your knees and then breathe in, just lifting your chest a little way from your knees. Exhale here, lightly draw your belly in. And then come a little further, inhale, roll onto the balls of your feet. Slide your hands towards the feet. And then on an inhalation, begin to extend your bottom up towards the ceiling or the sky. Soften your neck so you're coming into a deeper forward fold. And then either place your hands onto your lower back. So if you do have concerns of your lower back and you don't want to overload, place your hands onto your lower back, but if you feel okay to let them dangle, then you can have them in front of you. And then follow a breath consciously, maybe taking 2 or 3 ujjayi breaths or conscious breaths as you unfurl like the leaf of a fern. And I'd like you in particular to notice how the front and the back of your body are working together in order for you to lengthen. Back of your shoulders, your chest, your bottom, the front of your hips, back of your hamstrings, your thighs, the back of your knees, the front of your knees, the front of your head, the back of your head. So really pay attention to that relationship as you lengthen and find space in your body. And then just take a moment to check in with your toes, making sure that they're parallel to one another. Find the ground through the soles of the feet. Take your inhalation down through your pelvis, connecting to the ground. Exhale, watching the breath coming out through your body, nostrils into the space around you. And just checking that you're not going to come into contact with anything above you. As you breathe in, extend your arms in the direction of the sky. You're welcome to lift your chin a little And then on the exhalation, fold forwards and down. Lightly draw your belly in towards the spine. Soften your knees as much as you need to. Hands to the lower back. So a much more whole body movement now. Inhale, lift the chest, sweep the arms, expand and lengthen. And then exhale. Notice how the front of your body supports the back of your body as you fold deeply. So you're drawing into that forward fold through the support of your abdomen and softening your legs as much as you need to. And then on the in-breath, the front of the body rises as the back of your body, your spine is finding length. And then expand and let the arms go with you. And then exhaling and folding again. And your forward fold doesn't need to be too deep. It could just be a very gentle forward fold. Once more in your time. And then stay into your forward fold, and on an inhalation, release your right arm towards the ground and then extend it alongside your ear and raise your chest, and notice how your front and back of body are engaged equally in that action. Exhale, lower, hand comes onto your back. Inhale, the left arm releases, extend alongside your ear and then lengthen the chest. So you're lifting your chest, your heart away from the legs. Exhale to fold. Bring yourself up on the in-breath, sweep the arms. And then we'll come back down and we'll take the same sequence once more. This will be extremely beneficial for strengthening, in particular, the muscles of the lower back. As you breathe in and then lengthening along the muscles and the spine, just finding some length in the mid to top of the shoulders, the thoracic spine. And then again. Front of the body, back of the body, activating together in that movement. Exhaling and folding. Breathe in, rise gradually, both arms sweeping. Lengthen and extend, keep rising. And then exhale, lower your arms. Just pause here for a few moments. So these whole body movements generate heat, and your breath will be slightly quicker. So I'd like you to just stay with your inhalations and your exhalations until it gradually returns back to a steady pace. And then breathe in fully through the nostrils, and on an exhalation, sigh the breath out. And turning to face the long edge of your mat. Just bringing your left toes in a little, swiveling on the heel of your right foot so that you're open towards the edge of the mat. So it's that way I'm mirroring. Okay. So breathe in, bending your left knee, extending the arms out at shoulder level. Exhale, bring yourself back. Breathe in, open the arms out at shoulder level, the front knee bends. Exhale, bring yourself back. And then again, inhale. On the out breath, lower your left arm to your leg, extend your top arm over, and then breathe in and stretch your top arm over a little further. On the out breath, just let that arm extend away, and then just explore coming into that lateral extended position along the sides of your waist a little further before the next in-breath brings you back into a warrior, And then the exhale lowers the arms down. Just bring your feet to parallel. Take a light breath here, and we'll take the same pattern on the opposite side. So we're just moving our bodies out of a linear plane, bringing ourselves into some lateral movement and just extending along the spine a little further for us to work into the next posture. So breathe in, right knee bends, arms extend out, open across your chest. Exhale, the arms come back, the front leg moves towards straight. And then again. So let your arms float with the breath and your lower body really supported through the feet. Inhaling, this time on the out breath, extending over to your right side. As you inhale, your top arm stretches over a little further, and then on the out breath, just waving the arm away gently, and then again. Just explore that stretch a little further if it feels useful to you. Otherwise, you could just back off a little and maybe not have the arm quite so extended over. And you've taken a couple of breaths there. You come back through on the inhalation, and the exhale, the arms come down. Your feet move towards parallel, and then just gradually bring those feet back together. And just turning towards the short edge of your mat. Just take a breath in, lengthen your chest, arms extend out to the sides, and on the out breath, round across your body, bend your knees a little, and then breathe in, lift, extend from that forward fold action. Exhale, round a little further. Once more. Inhale, lengthening, and then exhaling, bend the knees, hands come onto the knees, and slowly walk your hands towards the ground. Bring yourself onto your knees, and just take some time. If you need any cushioning here, blanket or fold your mat over just so you have some cushioning for your knees. And also, we're going to be working with the arms out in front of us, so we might need a little bit more room. You might want to send yourselves a little bit further back along the mat so you have room in front of you. And this will be kind of our primary sequence really for working with strengthening and mobilising the lower back, finding that structural stability, but also some further mobility around the sacroiliac joint and then into the thoracic, the mid spine. So this is a really key sequence now that we're going to be working with for that structural support and mobility. So on an inhalation, extend your hands up alongside your ears, and then on an exhalation, just gently folding forward so your hands come onto the ground in front of you. Tuck your toes under, just press into the toes a little, and then almost as if that is going to send you forwards, take a breath in, keep pressing into your toes as you send your hips forwards so that you're not collapsing through the belly. Exhale, lower down. And then inhale and slide your hands along the ground in front of you. On the out breath then, draw your arms into a cactus position and turn your palms out a little so they're pointing at a 30-degree angle. Wait for your next inhalation and lift your chest and your head off the ground. And then exhale and lower down. So the in-breath lifts your legs or rooted here, fronts of your thighs, fronts of your feet. Exhaling, you draw the chin in and lower down. And then slide your hands alongside your rib cage, just tucking your toes under again. Lift yourself up and then send your hips back towards child's pose. Your arms on an in-breath extend alongside your ears, and then on the out-breath, lower your arms down. Breathe in with the arms. Exhale, draw your belly in, fold forwards and down, hips come back towards the heels. Tuck your toes under, pushing in through the feet, and then glide yourself forwards. Inhale, exhale, lower. Inhale, slide your hands along the ground. Exhale, draw your elbows into a cactus position with your arms turning out 30 degrees or so. And then breathe in, lift your chest, and this time raise one leg off the ground. So you're lifting through front of your thigh. Exhale, lower down. You're welcome to stay with the first variation as well. Inhaling to lift. Maybe a little bit more open as we're moving through each round. Perhaps you notice the front of your body rising a little bit further. If it doesn't, then that's absolutely fine. You just continue to work within your own range. Your lower back engaging, your bottom engaging, front of your body lifting. So notice that effort between the front of your body and the back of your body, evenly distributed. Slide your hands by your sides, tuck your toes under as you breathe in, lift your chest, come onto the knees. Wait for the out breath, send your hips back. As you inhale, lift the arms, extend. Exhale, lower the arms down. So we're going to take that sequence once more. Breathing in. Exhaling to fold. Toes tuck under. Press into the hands so there's an effort between the feet and the hands that arises. Exhale, lower down carefully. Slide your hands in front of you as you inhale. Your toes point away, and then exhale, the elbows towards you, the hands float out a little. This time as you breathe in, lift chest, take your legs off the ground and move your heels away from one another. Exhale, draw your heels together, lower everything down. Inhale, lift off the ground, the heels move away. Exhale, the heels come towards one another. You lower down. Now see how it feels. You're welcome to stay with that variation, or you might like to explore staying for a breath, whereby you exhale, engage the inner thigh, draw the heels towards one another. Inhale, send the outer thighs apart. Exhale, lower down. You might want to try that once more if you'd like to. If you feel like you've had enough, then just come back to child's pose when you're ready. So in the posture, the in-breath extends the feet apart. The out-breath draws them together. So your inner and outer edges, your pelvis, your thighs, your lower back, all working together. Exhale, lower, and finding length through the mid-spine as well. Hands beside you, tuck your toes under, bring yourself up, and then exhale your hips in the direction of your heels. So if this position is uncomfortable for you, then bring your hands onto the ground and place your head on top of your hands so your hips are raised. If it feels okay for you to stretch back into child's pose, then you're welcome to stay here for a few breaths. Just be aware of your breath rising in the back of your body, the front of your body settling as you exhale. The inhale, the lungs fill with air, the back of your body expands. The exhale, sense of hollowing and releasing. Notice how lower back feels, perhaps around your shoulders as well. And then slowly rise, taking a few breaths Inhaling and exhaling to unfurl. Place your hands onto your thighs. Okay. So just to kind of start bringing this towards a close, we'll take a seated posture and then we'll do a short practice, breathing practice before we take a relaxation. So a block or a cushion underneath your bottom and placing your left leg on the ground and sliding your right foot underneath the thigh. So you could have it against the thigh, but it depends on what your mobility is like on the outer hip. If you slide the foot under a little, then the hip is more likely to relax and that knee will come down, but you might also still want to have some cushioning there just in case. And the leg that's extended on the ground you can have released or extend, push a little further away. If it's trembling, soften the foot. Okay. So with an inhalation, extend your arms alongside your ears, and then a rotation as you exhale. Place your right hand behind you and your left hand onto your inner thigh. And then breathe in here and lift from the base of your spine through to the crown of your head. Exhale, lightly draw your tummy in towards the spine. And then breathing in to lift. Arms alongside your ears, and as you exhale, fold forward over your front leg, just as far as is comfortable for you. As you breathe in, lift and lengthen along your spine, the front of your body and the back of your body working together evenly. And then as you exhale, slowly lower yourself towards the leg. Guide your belly in lightly towards the spine. Your hands may slide a little further away from you, and as you inhale, lengthen along the arms, lift your heart, expand along the spine. So notice the length along the spine, the back of the body and the front of your body. And then exhale, soften the arms, folding over your front leg, and stay here for a further 2 breaths when you've arrived. And as you breathe in, explore length from your heel to your sit bones, and as you breathe out, releasing through the front of your body, explore length from your sit bones along your spine to the crown of your head. Inhale, extend your arms alongside your ears to come up. And then exhale, lower your arms down. Pardon me. Okay, so extend your legs along the ground again. And then this time draw your left knee in. The right knee is released. Come back to the breath. As you inhale, extend your arms alongside your ears. And then on the out breath, this time your right hand comes towards the right leg on the inner side. Your left arm comes behind you, and then looking across your back, shoulder. Take a breath in to explore length from your sit bones along your spine, centrally through your body to the crown of your head. Exhale to release. Draw your belly in, rotate a little further, breathe in the arms, and then exhale over your front leg. The hands come down. The elbows, the arms are soft. As you inhale, lift the chest. Lengthen along the spine. Exhale, fold a little deeply. Inhale, lift the spine again. Lengthen along the chest. The heart diagonally extending towards the wall in front of you. Exhale, fold a little more deeply. Draw the belly in. Staying for 2 breaths now. Inhale from the heel to your pelvis, this junction that we've been working to stabilize, stretching the muscles that need to be stretched, strengthening or contracting the muscles that need to be contracted. So perhaps there is a little more space now for you to explore in this forward fold, more ease in your body as the tensions have released a little. And then breathe in the arms. Exhale, lower down. Just take your feet along the ground. And we'll come onto our backs, we'll take a relaxation, and then we will close with a short kind of meditation just to see where we are. So you might want to place something underneath the legs. Bring your arms by your sides. If you need to bring your knees in, just take any movement that you'd like to, just to soften and release yourself towards the ground. And then either with your feet on the ground, you could bring them onto the ground with your feet turned out to the side, your arms away from the body, or you might prefer to have your feet in a constructive rest position whereby they're away from your bottom. Or it could be that having them closer in is more comfortable. So I'd like you just to spend a few moments finding that position. And you begin to notice the back of your body, the points upon which you can find the ground. If your feet turn out to the sides, your hips will release themselves of tension. With your palms facing up, your shoulders can begin to release. Just take a few easy breaths here, coming back to your natural breathing rhythm. Just notice how the back of your body is supported. Just allow the effects of the practice to settle, to become integrated. And notice where your mind is taking you, and what can you do in order for that place to feel more at ease, or perhaps you do need more structural support. Perhaps the knees bent is a better solution. Just let your jaw relax. Just notice how your body temperature is perhaps stabilizing as your breath calms and soothes its way around your body. Following your inhalations, notice how the front of your body rises. Following your exhalations, notice how the back of your body meets the ground. Let go of tension. With the in-breath, front of your body is expansive, even just a little way. There is still this expansion that arises. There is still this feeling of vitality, energy, sense of arrival with the breath, and then with the exhalation, the muscles, the soft tissues can release as the bones rest supported. And at some stage, I'd like you to take your time to just gently wriggle your fingers and your toes. Maybe you'd like to stretch in a way that feels pleasant Just guide your knees in. Perhaps rock a little from side to side. So really just gradually bringing yourself back. And this was a short relaxation. So if you were to do this practice again on your own, you're welcome to stay in that relaxation for as long as you wish. And then roll onto your side. And just slowly bring yourself back to your starting position where we began. Perhaps sitting onto a block or a cushion. Maybe place your hands onto your lower back, the tops of your pelvis, perhaps around the sides of your waist. Just offer yourself a gentle hug around that area, and then you could also offer that gentle hug across your shoulders. Slightly draw your chin in. Place your hands onto your laps and just take some time to honour yourself and the time that you have set aside to bring about greater structural stability and movement, mobility for your lower back and pelvic junction, but also integrating that throughout the whole body. So it's not just about one area alone, it's how all the parts work together and support ourselves through that along the way. And then just bring yourself to your center, towards your core. Pause around your pelvis. Take a breath in, draw your elbows, your shoulders up towards your ears, and then a long sigh as you exhale. Just let your eyes open when you're ready. So thank you everybody, thanks for joining me for this practice. I hope you enjoyed it. So if you wanted to do another session in the series, there is a 35-minute session on the core, but really we're looking at finding stability so that we can orientate ourselves in positive ways, and so far focusing on the core and the lower back as those areas of exploration. I'm going to be doing another series in a few weeks' time, and it's going to be a much more meditative practice, so we'll be looking more at seated postures and explorations of meditation. So yeah, thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it. Do leave a comment, give me a thumbs up if you liked it, that would be fantastic. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to my channel. Okay, I'll touch base with you soon. Take care everybody. Bye.